What's up guys? I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. In this video I will present you the perfect funnel on Reddit for your model, and we actually first of all need to understand why we need a link provider in order to get the best funnel on Reddit for our models. And this has a bit of a deeper explanation because in general, a lot of people are just putting in their OnlyFans link in their Reddit accounts. They're farming the accounts, they're putting in the OnlyFans link, and then they're starting to post. What I'm doing is completely opposite thing. I'm using a link provider. And the reason for that, me using a link provider, is that I know that Reddit is categorizing you if you put in an OnlyFans link. The moment you put in an OnlyFans link, they detect you and they put you into a category where they are keeping more track of you and just in general analyzing your account more on your behavior and stuff like this. And you can see that based on reasons, for example, that Reddit is banning links like juicy.bio, for example. You cannot use that link provider with this domain in the beginning of the Reddit, for example. When you put it into the link section, you cannot include a link with this start. You can also can't put in get all my links. This is because they are flagging those IPs because they want to force you to put in the OnlyFans link so they can categorize you properly. This is what we will try to avoid in this video. I will show you how to avoid that and how to still use those link providers even if they're IPs and not the IPs. The domains are flagged, and I will show you the two link providers I can recommend you, and I will also explain to you why those link providers are the best for your current situation. Besides that, I would also like to quickly mention my free Telegram group. The link is in the description, and make sure to join. There's almost 1,000 agency owners now in there, so you can easily connect, you can ask questions, and everything in there is made for agencies that are doing Reddit. You get a lot of value, so make sure to check that out. First link in the description. Let's get now to the two link providers that are actually interesting for our cases. And first of all, we have, like I said before, Juicy, and maybe you are now questioning why. You just said Juicy domain is flagged, you cannot use it on Reddit. I will show you the way how to use it. And then we have also a more expensive version, but I will also explain why expensive can make sense for you in this case. And this is Bouncy. First of all, Juicy is the cheap version. Why is it the cheap version? Juicy has the advantage that you can get a lot of links with a low amount of costs on there. And this just covers everything. You have your link, you can put in all tracking links, you can track everything properly for a very low price. The problem here is for Reddit it is not the perfect funnel, and I want to show you obviously also the perfect funnel, but in this case I'm going to show you a cheap version of the perfect funnel, and it converts less because you will always have an 18+ warning sign in between. This is the first thing, which is not needed on Reddit. This is only needed for now on Instagram, but they are not having it as an option to take it off for Reddit, for example. And besides that, it doesn't have a deep link option. How you can still use it now, because as I said, the domain normally is flagged, is they have something called mirror domains. This means instead of writing Juicy, you can, for example, just write thirsty.bio and it will still link your link to your model, even though if you change the beginning of the domain. And this is very easy. You can ask in the support chat for all the mirror domains, and then you will get a list of like, I think 20 mirror domains. They have like a lot, so you can just choose what works the best for you, and it will always link to your page, even though the domain looks different and Reddit doesn't have those domains flagged. And this is so amazing about this tool, and this is why it is working very well still on Reddit. And as I said, you're also not getting categorized into the OnlyFans creator niche part, so this is making everything way better. Besides that, now we are coming to the expensive version, which is Bouncy. By the way, I have both tools linked in the description, so you can just click on the link there to find the linked tools, and in order to start converting from your accounts without getting categorized by Reddit as an OnlyFans model. And why am I even telling that? I think I didn't explain. We are doing this because Reddit is not putting us into this part here, and then obviously the tracking is less. I said that obviously. Link provider, and I will explain now why to you. And there's different reasons. First of all, there is no 18 plus warning page in between. This means that the user only has to click on the link once and he gets forwarded straight away to OnlyFans. Besides that, Bouncy also has the function to deep link the user from the Reddit browser when they're opening it on their phone. Instead of having it opened in the Reddit browser, they are forwarding the user straight away into their, for example, main browser like Safari. This causes that we have way higher conversions. You maybe noticed deep linking already from Instagram, but yeah, just in general, this is causing that we are having higher conversions, and that affects us in a lot of ways. But what I need to tell you here is that it hardly depends, in my opinion, on your model and your case, if this is actually making sense. Because if you're having 10 link clicks per day on your account, and let's say this deep linking increases your conversions by whatever 5% or something, then you're making half a sub more every day. Like if you have a 10% conversion, for example, it's just a little amount which is just affecting you, which only makes sense if you're getting, in my opinion, a lot of link clicks, like minimum 100 over the links, to actually make this being worth. But this hardly depends also on you. If you're saying, I want to have this, I want to have the chance of converting better, then make sure to check it out. But also what I need to tell you is that the more links you have on there, the cheaper it obviously gets. And you need to, for example, right now, I think I have over 50 accounts on there and I have 30 accounts on Juicy. So I'm just paying on Bouncy for 50 links, $150. I think like it's a lot of money just for some link conversions, and that they're getting better. And yeah, you need to decide if this is making sense for you, and just like negotiate that and look at your results and then make a decision. But yeah, I will link both of these tools down in the description. I think you were able to understand why, for example, the cheap version can make sense even though it converts less, and then how also the expensive version can be better for your case. But yeah, as I said, it probably is only better if you have a lot of traffic coming over there. What you can also do, for example, if you run model and you don't want to track all 3 accounts differently, you can just get one Bouncy link and put all the Bouncy links into each account. Even though I personally don't recommend that due to chain bans. I know a lot of people say there is no chain bans based on the link which you are putting in. I disagree on that. I sometimes have the issue that when I put in the same OnlyFans link over and over again, and then, or I used to have that, I'm not doing it anymore, but when I did that back then, and then we had like bans on those accounts, that Reddit was flagging this IP, and then we could not set up any accounts anymore with this OnlyFans link. So there is some issues coming in that, I am 100% sure, but you can still try it out. If you say my accounts are stable, you can do that, but I would just not recommend it. I try to stay on the safe side, and this is for me using on every account a completely unique link, and also not the OnlyFans tracking link. And yeah, these are the reasons why I would recommend to use either this link provider, Juicy or Bouncy, depending on what makes more sense for you. And yeah, besides that, again, make sure to check out the Telegram group. And besides that, yeah, have a nice day, guys, and bye bye.